Oh, I'm sorry, right here. Am I involved with AIM? As a direct participant? No, I'm not a member of AIM, but I know a lot of the AIM members, and I subscribe to their philosophy, and I think it's a good thing. And I think that the AIM people should be quite proud of themselves and what they're doing, and that they are being used as scapegoats a lot by government, saying that they're a bunch of violent people who are doing aimless things, which I don't agree with at all. I have some very good friends, like a good friend of mine, Ed Burnstick in Edmonton. We carry on dialogues all the time about the situations, and we discuss them. To this point in time, I have not been actively involved, but I'm seriously considering it at this time. That's it.
Can I ask one more thing about AIM? Would you say that you represent the people in the AIM movement, or do you consider yourself more moderate?
Moderate.
In the sense of more conservative?
I don't know about more conservative. It's just that I have a different way of doing things. And I work in more insidious ways probably than they do. I can't speak. When I speak as having given to people my experiences, what I know. And at this point in time, I'm speaking for the Métis Association of Alberta. I'm not supposed to be saying most of what I'm saying here, because they are a moderate group, but I'm saying it anyway. That's who I represent, the Métis and non-status Indians of Alberta. We have 7 minutes left with which to get it on like Dr. John. If not, if I've totally mesmerized you by now, that if any point in time during the remaining days of this forum, that if anyone wants to stop and have some dialogue and talk about these kinds of things, I'll be more than happy to discuss them. And probably at that time, we can talk about alternatives. We are in the process of writing a declaration and a statement of claim to various parts of Alberta. We are also involved in putting together our alternatives and to seeing what we want to do with that land. We have plans, and we present them to government, but they don't respond to us. So we're going to try it again. And like I say, I don't know what the future holds if we keep on being rejected by the government. And if that answers any of your questions, I don't know. But we are actively involved right now in Alberta anyway in dealing with those types of things. And hopefully we can come to some peaceful agreement with this government or their successors. But if not, Mr. Clark and his friends will probably succeed this bunch. But anyway, it doesn't matter who we have there. We have to have understanding created that there is an Aboriginal right, and however we get it and arrive at it with the government, because we have to understand they are the ruling body. They are in power here. They have the guns, the ammunition, and the arms to put down any serious kind of rebellion anymore by a small group such as we. But we will arrive at some sort of resolution, I hope. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there a lady over here?
Yes. I just want to ask you, when you say that, housing is one big thing that your people are not getting, if a housing program is brought forward, an important thing for you, would it be that your people be involved in the building of the housing? You just don't want housing to arrive. You want to be able to be participating in the planning of the housing and putting it up yourself, right? You want to be taking an active part in it.
Exactly. The lady just asked about housing, which I mentioned before. And she asked if we wanted to be a part of the planning and the building of the homes. Of course we do. Anyone does. It's easy to walk into someone's place and say, I'm going to build a home for you, and leave it at that.
I know that a lot of the Indians, like status Indians, have had, homes brought to reserve. This doesn't work. They don't get what they want. They aren't even consulted. The houses where they don't want them or they're not where they want?
Yeah, that's happening in Alberta right now. The Métis people are, we have a program, of course. Mr. Ron Basford, who was the Minister of Urban Affairs about 4 years ago, promised us 50,000 brand new homes for Métis and non-status Indians. To date, I think they've delivered 2,000, and most of them are of an inferior design, and some are trailers. So, and the Métis people largely have not been involved in the design of these homes or the location. And it's ludicrous to build a home for a person when they haven't got a land base. First of all, and there are certain sections of the Housing Act, the Federal Housing Act, that we have to adhere to. And then Alberta Housing Corporation comes into it and says, well, we supersede what the Federal Housing Corporation says, or Act, and it goes on. And finally, there's so much red tape there that the Métis people who can get the homes are the ones who already own their land in various small communities. The ones who are squatters do not answer or satisfy the needs of the various acts that are going to give them homes, or under which they will be built, under CMHC specifications. Métis is M-E-T-I-S. It's a Latin derivative. It means mixed blood in French, or that's how it came down. Then you have mestizo in Spanish, and mulatto for the black people, and so on and so on.
This forum has to end at 7 o'clock, but just before everyone goes, there was one question was asked: how can the public help? Well, one of the things that you can do is write to Trudeau's government, write to the newspapers, write to your member of parliaments, and demand that this government reaffirm and recognize the Aboriginal rights and land claims of Native people of Canada. That's one thing that you can do.
I'm sorry this has to end, and the facilities aren't such that we could enter into meaningful dialogue, but isn't that right? Well, we could talk anywhere. If we want to go outside later in the middle over here and talk, that's fine with me. But the FACE group have been scheduled here by Mr. Sattersfield, or whatever his name, Satterswaite, there you go. Something like that. I can't, Satterswaite, there you go. And he scheduled another group in here. So perhaps later in the week we will hold another workshop in a smaller room, if we can. And at that time, maybe we can work on some meaningful resolution to come out of this workshop, or out of this assembly, and hopefully before the Canadian delegation has too much input or no input into the UN Assembly. I thank you very much.